parents, students, staff, governors and friends. Welcome to the graduation evening of LIPA Sixth Form College, which this year we are broadcasting directly into your homes. My name is Charles Bartholomew and I have the great privilege of being the director of LIPA Sixth Form College, and I will be your host for this evening. Now, although it's been a very different time for all of us at LIPA Sixth Form College since late March, this evening we are here to both remember and celebrate the amazing times and achievements of our students. So, let's now watch a video that captures the spirit, passion and skills of the class of 2020.
When you worn out heart is tossed and torn, and you feel like you can't trust anyone. If we're close enough, I'll break the storm. When the world turns cold, I'll keep you warm. I'll keep you warm.
Well, that was great, wasn't it? Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mark Featherstone Whitty. As well as being the founder of LIPA, the Brit School, LIPA 419 and LIPA Primary School, it was his unique vision that led to the creation of the Sixth Form. And without him, well, none of us would be here tonight. He has been our tireless champion and friend as we have navigated the waters since opening just 4 years ago. And we're truly grateful for his continued guidance and support. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark.
Well, hello everyone. What I really want to be doing is, of course, to be with you in the room behind us, as we normally have. This is where we normally have your graduation. And where I'm being filmed, we'd have people passing right across me and moving into that room, but we can't do that now, as you know. And yet, despite that, the spirit that you have exhibited has been wonderful. You sent a wonderful compilation of, I don't know what you called it in summary, I think it was We Will Miss You, or We Miss You, sorry, We Miss You. And Charles sent it on to me, and I have to say the little clips and videos that you sent were just wonderful, just wonderful. Some, of course, really wonderfully inventive and funny, and others just very straightforward and rather moving. So I suppose all I really want to do this morning is to wish you, of course, well for your next destinations. Some of you I know are coming to LIPA itself, and others are going to conservatoires and higher education, and some of you aren't doing that at all, taking a gap year. I just wish you well, and I'm just so glad and happy that you managed to spend 2 years with us, and from what I gather, got something out of it. So, all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. And it was great to see you outside the Paul McCartney Auditorium, where normally we'd be there. So, on to the awards, and the first discipline of the evening, dance. And to read out the names of the students in this area, please would you welcome our Programme Manager for Dance, Andrea McDevitt.
Here are the names of the dance graduates for 2020. Chelsea Breeze, Lily Bratana, Bertie Callis Nichols, Libby Coates Pearce, Rebecca Duffy, Dominique Eccles, Megan Edwards, Jamie Fisher, Abby Ford, Olivia Galvin, Jenny Gavin, Alexandra Grant, Abigail Hannah, Olivia Harrison, Natalia Higgins, Harley Hughes, Hannah Jones, Zoe Kiriakou, Jodie Lane, Olivia Loftus, Demi Lowry, Grace Lucas, Olivia Leah, Callum Maudsley, Zoe Norris, Megan Owen, Joe Parkinson, Elizabeth Tiz Pheasant, Eleanor Poole, Caitlin Quigley, Beth Salt, Abigail Saul, Hannah Scott, Hannah Stock, Keely West, and Daisy Wolger Bebb. This concludes this year's dance class.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Now, our next speaker this evening is Vicky Collins, whose sister, Mary Jane, has studied music with us. As well as being Mary Jane's sister, Vicky is also her guardian. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vicky.
Hello, Leavers 2020. I'm Vicky Collins, Mary Jane's sister. LIPA's strapline is performance matters, but it was clear to me that you, the students, us, the parents and guardians, matter too. The experience you have had isn't comparable to school. The environment that's being curated for you is more like a university. So you're already ready. That's if you're going to continue with studies or go on to start a career. LIPA has given you so much freedom, but with support and expertise to help hone and develop your skills, which I'm confident you wouldn't have got in that normal school environment. From workshops with Gary Barlow to Will Young, performing with your peers and tutors, it's no doubt helped not just to become a better musician, but build your confidence too. And that's certainly evident from the performances that I've been lucky enough to attend. I know you're not getting the closure you'd planned, and that's disappointing on all fronts, including prom. It is something to look forward to. But prom is a night with no doubt a hangover. And what you have are 2 marvellous years full of experience, and in this current climate it's going to give you the edge. There are still plenty of opportunities, and don't worry if you haven't got all that figured out yet. Just keep doing the things you like really well, be passionate about them. I think many parents would agree that they still don't know what they want to be when they grow up, but just know that LIPA Sixth Form College has made you already ready for the next step. So best of luck.
Thanks so much for that, Vicky. And now to our next discipline of the evening, technical theatre and design. And to read out the names of the students, please welcome Teresa Halewood.
The Technical Theatre and Design students of 2020. Ella Bowers, Rachel Graham, Lewis Harper, Caitlin Hogg, Joshua Jones, Shannon Lancashire, Nathaniel Litherland, Faye Murphy, Georgia Sharat, Laura Smith. And this concludes the Technical Theatre and Design class of 2020.
Teresa, thank you very much. And now to music. And to read out the names of the students in this area, please can you welcome the Programme Manager for Music, Nadine Kemp.
These are the names of this year's Music Performance and Production class. Sarah Atkin, Max Belger, Erin Brady, Mayan Briley, Tamia Brown, Carmen Brown, Thomas Bruce, Faye Clayton, Sophie Cliff, Mary Jane Collins, Elizabeth Cosme, Sylvian Cunningham, Carly Davis, Caden D'Souza, Joseph Doolan, Joshua Elms, Joshua Enokpoma, Elizabeth Evans, Jake Foster, Ethan Fury, Dylan Fennell, Owen Glover, Jake Gore, Catherine Graham, Sophie Green, Kian Hartley, Daniel Haysom, Will Hogan, Saffron Holmes, Liam Holt, Molly Hunter, Jack Inchboard, Sasha Jones, Lewis Kelly, Jacob Kelly, Megan Kirk, Thomas Lloyd, Hallie Malone, Noah Mailer, Evie Moran, Macy Mordy, Genuel Naoi, Liam Nicholson, Chloe Noon, Reem Radamez, Charles Rafferty, Isabel Rice, Archie Rimmer, Ben Robinson, Liam Shields, Sam Simpson, Rachel Sloan, Charlie Smith, James Snellgrove, Isabel Tarrant, Imogen Taylor, Mark Walker, Charlie Warburton, Molly Wilkinson, Peter Wintersgill, Nathan Woodley. This concludes this year's music performance and production class.
Nadine, thank you so much. Our next speaker is Kim Parkinson, whose son Joe has studied dance with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I am Joe Parkinson's mum. Joe has just finished his journey through LIPA Sixth Form College studying dance. It's an honour to be asked to speak as a parent and reflect on seeing our sons and daughters graduate from such a well-rounded institution. Following Joe's journey through LIPA Sixth Form College, I've come to appreciate the hard work the teachers and the staff put in at the college, and also come to the conclusion that LIPA Sixth Form College is a special place to be for an aspiring performer. There is a culture within the college that provides values and cultivates diversity, a diversity of interests and opportunities each student can embrace and be encouraged to explore. There is a high level of respect and a professional connection between the students and their teaching staff. Respect for seeing each student as an individual, accepting the diversity of interests, opinions and beliefs. For making students feel like they are accepted to be the artist they aspire to be. I would like to take this opportunity to thank LIPA Sixth Form College on behalf of all parents for allowing our children to grow and develop as performers under their talented guidance. Well done everyone, and good luck for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Kim. And now to the last discipline of the evening, acting. And to read out the names, would you please welcome our programme manager for acting, Edward Pinner.
This year's acting students are Sarah Beattie, Miriam Bell, Hannah Berry, Adam Bolton, Ryan Broadhead, Gareth Butcher, Jake Butcher, Genevieve Butterworth, Rebecca Bywater, Rachel Cadley, Lauren Campbell Ward, Tito Carrasco Brennan, Georgia Challoner, Hannah Clancy, William Cody, Natasha Dowd, Ryan Ellis, Luca Evans, Lewis Faulkner, Molly Fletcher, Kai Freeman, Erin Gardner, Abigail Gibbons, Jack Graham, Saffron Grufford Jones, Phoebe Hardman, Joshua Harrison North, Bethany Hill, George Hughes, Sarah Judge, Casey Keegan, Elliot Ledgerton, Lottie Lee, Rachel Lavelle, Cara Maguire Smith, Elizabeth Malcolm, Romeo Mashumba, Erin May, Madison Maycock, Michael McCabe, Maya MacDonald, Millie McLaughlin, Francesca Medlicott, Lee Moore, Victoria O'Toole, Thomas Perry, Jack Pinson, Dario Pisani, Lydia Prescott, Jessica Pye, Katrin Rafiq, Tia Scarlett, Philip Slevin Smith, Luke Allen Sumner, Rihanna Swoyer, Georgia Taft, Hannah Thompson, Oliver Tinsley, Zach Waddington, Amy Westray, Olivia Whittaker, Molly Wilsden, Kieran Francis Wilshaw, Jake Wissett, Charlotte Wood. And that concludes the acting class of 2020.
Edward, thank you so much. Tonight, we decided it would be great to hear from one of the students who left us last year in 2019. Dan Light studied technical theatre and design with us, and at the graduation last year, he received the McCartney Human Spirit Award. Dan has now completed his first year at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London and has agreed kindly to share his reflections on the first 12 months since leaving us. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan.
I'd like to start by saying a massive congratulations to the class of 2020 and thank you to all the staff at LIPA for having me back. It is a massive honour to be invited to speak to you all, although I think it's a bit much inventing a virus to stop me coming back in the building. This year, I've moved to London, where I joined the Technical Theatre course at Guildhall School of Music and Drama. I've had the opportunity to work on a number of shows there, as well as making new contacts in the industry and friends across all of the courses. It's not been that long since I was at LIPA Sixth Form College. It's only been a year since I was where you are now, graduating. Suffice to say, I'm really not feeling like the most qualified person to be giving you advice. But let me tell you what I've learned from my time at LIPA and how it has shaped me during my first year at Guildhall. Life is an improvisation. You have no idea what is going to happen next and you are constantly making things up as you go along. That's a quote from comedian Stephen Colbert, and I promise it's the only quote I will use in this speech. But I do think it makes a good point. Throughout this year, I've been in many situations, both in uni and in the real world, where there's no way I could have been exactly prepared. LIPA taught me the skills to be able to improvise, to make the best of me, to make the best of any situation. Although it's great not to wear a lanyard anymore, Charles. Working on shows, we weren't just learning how to say the words or how to put up a light. We were learning how to work together, how to come up with creative solutions to problems, and how to actually make something on our own. I honestly think LIPA is better at teaching this than other institutions, and whatever you choose to do after LIPA, working in the industry or not, I'm confident these skills will follow you. I wanted to think of a story to help carry across this message. In my last year at LIPA, we put on a performance called Fragments. I'm sure Teresa and Vicky are currently having flashbacks. When we first started this performance, it was going to be a museum-style exhibition, nothing too hard. As the weeks passed, we kept adding more and more. Slowly there were actors, a script and costumes. By the time we reached the show, it was a full-on immersive performance. We had a cast and we had an air raid shelter, we even had a working lamppost. Throughout this process, as we kept adding more and more, no one told us to stop or slow down. Teresa and Vicky wanted to help us make the production we wanted to make. This definitely wasn't exclusive to just my course either. Every single teacher, tutor and staff member would always do everything they could to help the students succeed. I want to make sure I pass on a reminder to you all as well. Please make sure you keep in touch with all these people you've just spent the last 2 years of your life with. Don't let friendships drift away just because you end up moving to unis in different parts of the UK. Start forming creative partnerships now. Start a production company, form a band, write a play. You know who you want to work with, whose work you admire, who does something better than anyone else in the world. Finally, I'm just going to quickly address the elephant in the room. I've tried not to let current events overshadow this speech because today should be about you guys and how much you've accomplished. But I know there are probably some feelings of anxiety, so I just wanted to offer some reassurance. Live events will come back. Yes, we are going through a dark period, but theatre always has and always will come back. It's such a great time to be learning. I know it must be easy to feel like you're graduating at a bad time, but you also have a unique opportunity. As the industry recovers, you will be at the forefront. LIPA has armed you with the skills, collaborators, and that great ability to improvise. You will be able to shape the industry the way you want it to be, make the work you want to see, and use your creativity to come up with unique ways to perform it. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission to make something. You're now in the same boat with everyone else, and I know that you're going to be prepared to be at your best. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you today. You have achieved so much these past 2 years, and I'm sure all of you will go on to do so much more. Hopefully our paths will cross again in the future, and I will get the opportunity to see your work. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dan. We really appreciate you putting the time together to speak to us this evening. Our next item is the McCartney Human Spirit Awards, which will be introduced by our Chair of Governors, Joe Moriarty. Joe does an amazing job leading the governing body, and we really appreciate the work that both she and all the governors do to support us here at LIPA Sixth Form College. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe.
Human Spirit Commendations and Award. As Chair of Governors, I am really thrilled to be introducing the Human Spirit Commendations and Award. This is a unique part of the ceremony which exemplifies our values, what we feel is important. These prizes celebrate qualities that are not necessarily recognised by qualifications and certificates. Fundamental to our ethos is the emphasis that we place on collaboration, which means being encouraging as often and whenever you can. This will come back to you when you need it most. Trying not to compete with others and realising that when one person gets better, we all get better. Keeping an eye out for each other. And finally, having dignity in the face of a crisis. These are the qualities that inspire, summed up in the phrase human spirit, and remind us of the motto of the original institute that is displayed in Big Lippa's entrance hall. That we were not born for ourselves alone, but for the whole world. Commendation for mathematics. The students considered for the mathematics and English prizes have shown the qualities needed to succeed not only in the study of the subject themselves, but also in the art of learning, when self-belief may be in short supply. The study of these GCSE subjects requires the same application as in all of the disciplines we are celebrating today. Our first commendation goes to a student who faced a knockback initially in maths, but picked herself up to succeed in achieving her target grade. She was unfailingly generous in supporting other students along the way, even finding the odd Kit Kat chunky for her ailing teacher. Our commendation for maths goes to Emma Bowers. Commendation for English language. Our second commendation goes to a student who has been remarkable in the consistency of her effort and determination to make progress in English, alongside her music study programme. Improving her English language result by 3 grades is a huge achievement and very well deserved. A terrific student full of warmth and positivity in and out of the class. She will be missed. Our second commendation goes to Catherine Graham. Commendation now for acting. Our third commendation goes to a student who has gone above and beyond what is expected. An artist, practitioner, actor, director, and a wonderful clown. Whatever they turn their hand to is done completely, with ease, integrity, and modesty. This student learns voraciously and utterly without ego, unaware perhaps of how truly talented they are. Taking risks and pushing boundaries, but always remaining grounded. This student is supportive to others, often the first to volunteer. An example, a demonstration, an exercise, or to commit to a project. Their critical eye has enabled the creation of work that all involved can be utterly proud of. For the last 2 years, this student has been a gift and one we are very sad to let go. A joy to have in the classroom a student who has embraced everything the college has to offer, contributing far more than they would ever take credit for, and in doing so, they have enriched the experience of all those they have worked with. Our third commendation goes to Erin Gardner. Commendation now for music. Our fourth commendation goes to a student who has shown an exceptional level of passion and professionalism in her chosen area. This student has been a driving force in organising music events involving students from all disciplines, passionate about uniting the college through performance opportunities. She started by organising the weekly sound check sessions before moving on to helping to plan other events. Since we have been in lockdown, she has led the way in organising online performances and collaborations, demonstrating to the public the true sense of community at the college. She was keen to lead on our annual busk-off, despite having finished her studies. She worked alongside the staff team in the planning of the Liverpool One music event, frequently liaising professionally with the Liverpool One team. She was trusted with this role as we were convinced she would represent our department as professionally as any member of staff could. She spent the last term in college working alongside a small team of first-year students, training them to take over the responsibilities for organising and running the Soundcheck Sessions event into the future. Our fourth commendation goes to Genuel Naoy. Commendation for dance. To succeed in the world of dance, you need a high degree of natural talent, a tenacious and determined attitude, and a resilient spirit. Our fifth commendation goes to a student who has an abundance of all of these qualities. This is one of the most decent, kind, and caring individuals we have worked with, and it has been a privilege to teach her. Throughout her course, she has maintained high standards and a professional attitude, approaching all of the challenges with enthusiastic good humour. She is gentle, kind, and supportive in motivating others, even when situations may have made this difficult. She's quite simply a beautiful dancer, a model student, and a wonderful human being. Our fifth commendation goes to Beth Salt. Technical theatre and design. Our sixth commendation goes to a student who's incredibly hardworking, fully committed, and hugely motivated. A great team player. This student is always happy to help and support others, a welcome ambassador at open days and taster events, supporting new and prospective students. This student never gives up and has worked tirelessly to develop a strong skill set. He's a great people person, professional and with a superb work ethic. Someone you would be more than happy to have on your production team. It's with great pleasure that our sixth commendation goes to Joshua Jones. And now to the McCartney Human Spirit Prize. This year's McCartney Human Spirit Prize winner was nominated by staff across all areas and disciplines. Even staff who have left the college for pastures new got in touch to offer their support for this nomination and to explain why this student deserves to be recognised. The sheer volume of nominations reflects just how much of an impact this student has made since joining the college. What shines through in the comments we received is a very clear sense of positivity, selflessness, and a determination to make the world a better place for everyone. This student has arranged or had a role in organising almost all of the charity events over the course of the last 2 years. From organising presentations and talking to students and staff about the importance of protecting our environment, she has played a significant role in making our college more eco-friendly. She conceived of, set up and continues to run the College Knitting and Crafting Club, an oasis of calm in an otherwise hectic week. She hasn't let a little thing like the building closing stop her, and hosts a virtual meetup every week, bringing a much needed hour of mindfulness into our lockdown lives. She has been described as a beacon of positive thinking and positive change. Another has suggested she should run for Prime Minister. You have to admire her sheer determination to take on big projects, believing passionately in them and seeing them through to the end. She's not fazed by the enormity of the task or who she has to convince to get things done. She's resilient in the face of adversity, and all with a smile. This student is a unique and very special person who brings energy, kindness, and compassion to everything that she does. Full of creative ideas and a gleeful can-do attitude. She is an inspirational person whose selfless acts of kindness and drive to help others really shine through. She will be sorely missed by everyone at LIPA, but leaves an indelible mark on the college in the positive changes that she has brought about. The McCartney Human Spirit Prize for 2020 goes to Megan Kirk.
Thank you so much, Joe. And now to our guest speaker this evening. We're really, really privileged to have John Godber with us this evening. John is one of this country's most famous and successful playwrights, and as well as that, he's an accomplished actor and director and has run a number of very, very prestigious theatre companies. Ladies and gentlemen, John Godber.
Hello, my name's John Godber. I'm a playwright, a theatre maker. I run a company, and I'd like to say a few words to the students who are graduating from LIPA Sixth Form College, and what strange times they are. Normally, of course, there'd be a huge celebration in person. Under these circumstances, however, obviously it's a little bit more distanced in that it's online, but I wanted to say a few words of congratulation to all the students who are graduating from LIPA Sixth Form College in this time round. You may not know a lot about me. I live in Hull. I'm speaking to you from my office just outside Hull near the Humber Bridge, and I write plays. I didn't always write plays. I was a school teacher, taught drama in a comprehensive school for 5 years, and I'm from a pretty normal background. Sometimes I have to kind of pinch myself to remind myself what's happened. My dad was a miner, my mum was a dinner lady, and I wanted to play football for Leeds United. And I was attacked in the street by a boxer when I was 16, and I started weight training and bodybuilding, and suddenly got kind of too big to play football, so I started playing a lot of rugby, and I played a lot of rugby union. But I was always fascinated by stories. I was always fascinated by words, and eventually I found myself being drawn to theatre, and I found that was the way that I could express my understanding of the world through writing plays. And I was very, very lucky that the first plays I wrote became very well known. One of the early plays, Bouncers, I don't know if you know it, it's about 4 nightclub bouncers who stand outside the door of a northern club, and they act out all the characters who come to the club. And then I wrote a play called Teachers. Again, I don't know if you know that one, but that's about a young drama teacher who goes into a school who was absolutely enthused by the notion of giving young people the opportunity to do drama, because he understands that by doing drama in school, it will engage their imagination, it will catalyse their lives and give them a sense of being and importance, and understand their own voice. And then I wrote a play about rugby league, which we made into a film, Up and Under, which is some time ago. And over time, I've written 70 odd plays. I've built a theatre here in Hull where I live. And that all comes from one little kind of interest in plays, in wanting to be involved with literature and theatre. And I've been extraordinarily lucky, because almost everything I've written has been performed. But you kind of think, where did it start? Well, I guess it started with people like you from pretty ordinary backgrounds who wanted to do something different. And my mates had no interest in theatre. One wanted to be, one became a journalist and then became the British powerlifting champion. Sadly, was injured in a car accident. One wanted to be an artist, other wanted to be political journalists and so on. Most of them went to work at the pit and in engineering and that kind of thing. So the kind of work that I wrote really was about trying to connect with my mates, the kids that I'd been to school with. And I didn't know you could go away to study drama at university. I went to a place called Bretton Hall, which is near Wakefield, which is near where I'm from. And I trained to be a drama teacher, and it was fantastic because I met all these people from all different backgrounds, and their mums and dads were teachers or professors or bankers or business people, and my dad was a miner, and so I had to work extra hard to read plays and to understand what theatre was. And when I left Bretton Hall, I went on to Leeds University to do a master's degree, and again there were people there from all over the world. There was dads were professors and teachers and lawyers and so on, and but you've got to grasp these opportunities with both hands. And then I got the place to do a PhD at Leeds University, but at the same time I got a job, and so I went back to teach at the school that I'd been a student at. So I was teaching kids like myself. And I realised there was no point me swanning in there doing, you know, Chekhov or even Shakespeare or Pinter, because these kids, it didn't speak to their experience. So I started to write sketches for the kids and in their own voice, and get them to realise they were natural storytellers. They had things to say about the world. And I want to say this to you, that you're clearly interested in theatre and drama and dance and the scenic arts of theatre and theatre making. And if you are, read a play a week, read a play a day. I used to play a lot of rugby union, and before every game I would read a play. That seemed a bit daft, you know, I'm sat down so you don't actually see the kind of bulk, but I would go to a game and the others were getting change, and I'd be sat reading a collection of Penguin classics, and luckily I was quite good, so I got away with it. But if you want to know about the theatre, read about the theatre, go online, look at things that you can access. There's a load of videos and online courses you can do which will inform you. And the other really important thing is, don't be put off by naysayers, by people who kind of say, well, you know, only 1 in 100 actors is working at any one time. Tell your story. I can't tell your story. Willie Russell can't tell your story. We're that side of that experience now. You need to tell your stories. You need to find a voice. And how do you find a voice? By doing it. By thinking, well, actually, you know, playwrights may well be people with beards, but they don't have to be 65 and 74. They can be 18 and 19. And you might think, well, where do you start? Well, it's very simple where you start. You start with an idea and a pen and a bit of paper, and then you put that on a computer, and you get some mates together and a couple of chairs, and you hire a space just up Hope Street or in the back of a pub, or you go and see, you know, people at the sixth form college or people in the Pilgrim and say, look, can I put a show on here? I know Liverpool quite well because my daughter went to LIPA, and I was one of the few writers right at the beginning that set up Brookside with Phil Redmond and Jimmy McGovern and various Frank Clark and A Letter to Brezhnev and all those, the great birth of Liverpool writing in the late 70s and early 80s. So if you want to do it, and if you want to make a living in this profession called the arts, in these very difficult times, you have to believe in yourself, no matter where you come from. And there will be all kinds of barriers that are put up in your way. Some are real, some are in your imagination. But you have to be utterly determined. And it starts with you. It starts with you thinking, do you know what, I really fancy this? And the people may put you off, and you may have down times, and you may get rejection. But as long as you stay true to yourself, and as long as you find the authentic voice within inside yourself, and you really believe that this is something that you want to do, that you want to say something about the world we live in. I can say things about the world I live in. I'm 64 just turned, and so I can talk about my world and how I see my world. But you need to talk about your world, how you see your world, and that is a message that needs to get out. And the more of you that make that message, that conjoin to give that critical mass to the voice, then the louder it will resonate, and you drop a pebble and the ripples go all over the place. So I just wanted to say, well done, fantastic, and good luck in your forward careers, whether or not you're going on to LIPA itself to study. I think it's a fantastic place. I've seen a lot of things there. As I say, I know Liverpool very well. I know the Refinery and Hope Street and the Everyman and the bars around there. I've ate there for years over time. And for those of you who are going further, perhaps into university or to London, that London we call it here, you know, to RADA or to Central School or to Guildhall or to Mount View or to Alra, either south or north, you know, you take with you your authentic voice and be open to lots of ideas and new things and challenge yourself. And the other important thing I would say is stay fit. I say to my own kids, you know, this is not it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't know when it's going to happen to you. Years and years ago, I was offered the main part in the Full Monty, and I turned it down because who wanted to see my bum in cinemas across the world? Well, not even my wife. And that opportunity was offered up to Mark Addy, who went on to do all kinds of things, a fantastic actor and a mate. And opportunities will come along. Some you'll grasp, some you'll miss. But as long as you stay true to yourself and do what you want to do, then you'll find satisfaction. And whether or not you become, you know, the great new Sam Mendes, or whether or not you become somebody who's making important work in secondary schools around Liverpool, the Northwest, even the East, even the South, goodness knows across the world, that is very important work too. So it's not about stardom, it's about the integrity of what you're doing. So congratulations, well done, and good luck.
Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate that. At this point, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all the staff who work at LIPA Sixth Form College for everything they've done to help our students. To put it in the language of the business, the secret of directing is casting, and I have an A-star cast. Well, tonight has given us an opportunity to celebrate the achievements of you, our wonderful students. But this is not the end. It is also the beginning of a new adventure for you all. And whatever doubts you have, you are ready for the next chapter. It's been such a privilege for all of us to see you grow, not only in your specialisms, but as people as well. You will always be special to everyone at the college, and we will follow your next steps closely. All of us at LIPA Sixth Form College wish you the very best for the future, as of course do your family members and supporters who are watching this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we may be apart, but we are together. So please, from wherever you are tonight, from wherever you are watching this, can I ask you all to show your appreciation for the class of 2020.